I recorded a video not that long ago, ended up being about 42, 43 minutes long. I got on a roll, you could say. And then I started thinking about some of the things I said in that as well. And with you two, I thought, I think maybe I'll just keep this one to myself. And let me get back to focusing on one or two quick things at a time. Maybe I'll cut it up. Maybe I'll share some of it later. But one of the things I did want to focus on, because again, it is showing a problem that needs to be solved with the Indiana Fever. But I also want to talk about something that I found to be very, very, very positive when it comes to Caitlin Clark that I want to get into as well. So I got two clips here, one from Caitlin, one from Stephanie White that I want to share. I want to talk about as we head into the revenge game. I don't know if we call it a revenge game since the Indiana Fever won, and that is, well, who I'm rooting for. I think most of you are rooting for as well. Although it is, I got to say, real quick, it is adorable. It is adorable to see the Hatelins and some of the slows get into the comments and some of the things they say. So desperate for the attention of Caitlin Clark fans. I bless your little hearts. Mwah. I really do appreciate it. You're wonderful. Anyway, quick favor, like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the drill by now. So let's dig in. First one's about a minute long, and it is Caitlin Clark talking about her technical foul.
Pick up the tech tonight, fifth of the
Yeah, it's
season.
ridiculous. I got a technical for clapping. So like if we should all just go on the calendar now and pick a game that I'm going to be suspended for if I'm going to get technicals for clapping. I asked Gerda. Gerda said that I got a technical for clapping. So if any technical should be taken away, it should be that one. If it's truly for clapping, that's what they said they gave it to me for was for clapping. So it's just ridiculous. I don't understand it at all.
So even within that, though, how aware do you have to be of the 8 technical fouls?
I mean, I'm
Just
going to
speak for
play
everyone.
with emotion. I'm going to play with passion. And if they're going to give me a technical foul for clapping, then so be it. That's their choice. And the league can come back and review that play. And I'd love to hear what they say of the reasoning of why I got the technical foul in that situation and why other players on their team didn't get a technical foul in that situation. If anything, split it. Okay, fine. Everybody gets a technical foul. That wasn't how they were handed out. So I'd love to know. But obviously, that's what I went to Gerda and said. I said, why'd you give me a technical foul? She said, because I was clapping and instigating. I said, okay, then you just don't like competitive basketball. And that's just facts. That's just reality. So disappointing from them.
Now, before I dig into my reaction to what Caitlin Clark said, just a quick reminder that not all that long ago, Paige got a technical foul for clapping. Do y'all remember that? A technical foul for clapping. But here's the big thing when it comes to Paige Becker's getting a technical foul for clapping. That technical foul was rescinded by the league. From what I'm hearing, now I've heard a couple of things. I've heard, oh, the league has not rescinded this technical foul from Caitlin Clark, but I've also heard that the official decision has not been made. But again, precedent, very recent precedent. And this is what is a big problem for this league in general, right? We can go back to 2024. Caitlin gets a technical foul for slapping the stanchion because she was frustrated with herself. Gets a technical foul. Diana Taurasi does the same thing, gets a technical foul. Diana Taurasi's technical foul, which would have been her, I believe at the time it was the seventh, which triggered a suspension, would have had her suspended for the next game. They rescinded that technical foul, but they did not rescind Caitlin Clark's technical foul. And here we are again. Paige Becker's claps, technical, they took it away. Caitlin Clark claps, technical. Are they going to take it away? We shall see. But we're going to keep the pressure on this clown league. That is for sure. We are going to force them to make positive changes. But here's the thing I really want to get into with Caitlin Clark. I loved everything about this. And I know a lot of people, those who, of course, pretty much already hate Caitlin Clark, are going to be all pissy and they're going to be all grumpy and they're going to bitch and moan about her attitude and the things she said. I loved everything about it. So you can suck on that. But the big thing, like overall, I love it anyway. But what gives it a little extra? Because I've heard it from more and more people. A lot of people have been worried with what they've seen from Caitlin Clark lately. Like, is she being broken down? Is she assimilating? Is she like, yeah, I can't fight it anymore? It's just nonsense over and over and over again. Is she accepting just being a blah WNBA guard? A lot of people have been worried about that, and with good reason. I get it from what you watch, but it's also difficult because, Caitlin can't come out publicly at a press conference and trash her coach, right? Just can't do it. Doesn't mean she's not feeling it. Doesn't mean she's not thinking it. For those of you who like to go, aha, see what Caitlin said? Caitlin loves her coach. No, she doesn't. She doesn't love her coach. I promise you, I guarantee you that she doesn't love her coach. But anyway, we saw spicy Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark fighting back. Caitlin Clark pissed off. Caitlin Clark throwing the referee under the bus as she should, because the referee is an absolute clown. Keep in mind, this is a referee who also Alyssa Thomas threw an elbow at Caitlin Clark's head. Now Caitlin got out of the way, and the original call was foul on Alyssa Thomas. Correct call. Gets challenged. Not only did they rescind the foul call on Alyssa Thomas, Gerda, what's her name? Gertrude. She looks exactly like you would think. She is a miserable, grumpy, frumpy, old white woman who's going to make the rest of the world miserable too, who clearly hates Caitlin Clark. Gives Caitlin Clark a technical foul for doing absolutely nothing. But I love everything about this for Caitlin Clark. I love the spiciness. I love the attitude. I love the, hey, you know what? I'm fed up and I'm going to sit here and call it out. I'm not going to play nice. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I got a technical and I did something I shouldn't have done. And that's just the way it is. No, she made it very clear. This is clown world. This is absolute nonsense. This is targeting Caitlin Clark because Gertrude, whatever her name is, doesn't like Caitlin Clark. This is the WNBA with their hypocrisy, with their target of Caitlin Clark, the one person who has made them relevant. 99% at least of the people currently talking about the WNBA were not talking about the WNBA before Caitlin Clark arrived. So I love this. To me is like Caitlin letting everyone know she still has the fire, letting everyone know she's still fighting, letting everyone know she has not been beaten or broken by all the bullying and the nonsense going on with the WNBA, whether it's the other players, whether it's the media and their character assassination nonsense, whether it's her own coach, and I would say actually entire coaching staff. All of them have to go. All of them have to go. The most disgusting, toxic, awful people I've ever come across, who also happen to be terrible as basketball coaches. It's like the perfect storm. So for me, it was just, I can't emphasize enough how good it felt to see Caitlin being Caitlin again with this and just making it very clear she's using the Billy Pulpit to say, hey, you know what? You got to clean this stuff up. You have got to clean this stuff up. I'm not standing for it. I'm not going to sit by. I'm not going to be quiet on everything. When there are opportunities for me to speak, you will hear me and you will hear me loudly. But now I want to bring in a little bit of a clip from Stephanie White, also talking about Caitlin Clark's technical foul. And shockingly, she has a slightly different take.
Spoke to Caitlin about technical foul, the kind of skirmishes that happen in the game. How aware do you have to make her, or she has to be about the 8 technical fouls and you get suspended for a game? That was her 5th tonight.
Yeah, I mean, she's got to be aware. Certainly, I think there are some that we could do without. There are natural things that happen that the energy of the game creates when you do get those. But there are some that we can be a little bit more in control. And so yes, we'll continue to remind her. And I think she has to have an awareness.
Spoke to Caitlin.
Oh, she has to have an awareness. Um, Not surprised by this at all, right? But I'm going to walk you through what should be happening if you were Caitlin Clark's coach. You take a fine. First of all, you should have. You had how many technical fouls did the Indiana Fever get in that game? 5, maybe 6. None of them from Stephanie White. If I am a coach of the Indiana Fever, I probably get tossed out of that game on purpose because I'm going to make a statement about how my team is officiated by this league. And I'm going to make it very loud and I'm going to make it very clear. And then I'm going to add to it in the post game press conference. And I am not going to let up. This is going to be a big issue and it is going to be front page with this league every single game. Here's Stephanie White's conversation. Say, hey, look, man, are there times Caitlin Clark earns a technical foul? Yeah, absolutely. All players do it. It's part of the game. You get worked up, you get emotional. Sometimes it's going to depend on the official and whether or not they had a fight with their spouse that day. That's how absurd these things get. We're all human. But this was BS. I'm not going to worry about Caitlin Clark being aware of how many technical fouls she has for the season. Caitlin Clark has a lot more important things to be aware of, like being the starting point guard for the Indiana Fever when we're trying to go out and win a title. I don't give a crap that the official didn't do their job, that the official is a miserable child all up in her feels when Caitlin Clark gets a technical foul for clapping. This is going to the league, and I'm going to make it very clear that this technical foul needs to be rescinded. And if it's not rescinded, we're going to get louder about it because we're going to make it very clear that Paige Beckers just got a technical foul earlier this season for clapping, and it was rescinded. And we can go back to the Diana Taurasi stuff. And we are not going to sit here and be silent because you might fine us when you are treating our superstar worse than the rest of the league and you are singling her out for punishment that you are not giving the rest of the league. We're done with it. And that, by the way, sorry, I almost knocked over my camera. That, by the way, is how you handle that question if you are a real coach of Caitlin Clark. Now, if you don't like Caitlin Clark, you handle it the way Stephanie White handled it. I personally prefer the way I would handle it. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the drill by now. Truly appreciate it. Shout out to the 19. I will talk to y'all later.